Yo, so after looking into things, I think we've been too harsh on the ice type, and after me evaluating it, I personally think the ice type is actually a really good type, and it's not actually the worst type in the game. Like, everyone say, oh, ice is so bad, it's absolute garbage. And yeah, it is bad defensively, don't get me wrong, but the whole point of the ice type is that it's a glass cannon type. It's actually really strong offensively. You hit dragon, flying, grass, and ground for super effective damage. Some of these monsters types are like super like valuable and very much well used. There's always going to be a ground type. If you look for every like tier on Smogon and you look at the percentages usages, there's pretty much always a ground type within like the top three to like four most used Pokemon. Like the most used Pokemon is usually a ground type. You have stuff like the Great Tusk or Lando, who's always going to be like on the top. Then you see dragons. There's always going to be dragons with pseudo legendaries, whatever. And then flying type is just really good to have because it's immune to ground, which is just a really good typing. And there's some pretty good flying type Pokemon. Like I said, Dragonite. There's Lando, etc., etc. Grass is pretty useful every now and then. You'll have Pokemon that is pretty good, like Breloom or Amoonguss every now and then. That's pretty solid. And yeah, it's not good defensively, but like again, it's a glass cannon type. Like it doesn't really need all these resistances to be good. And honestly, I think the reason why everyone hates the ice type is just because we get really bad ice types, which makes no sense. Because Game Freak loves to make bulky ice types for no reason whatsoever. I don't understand why they do it. Maybe because they don't want to make all these really strong ice types. But when we see like offensive ice types, they're all really strong. You have Baxcalibur, you have Cloyster, which admittedly in now generations they haven't been that good, but in the past it has been really good. Even in Gen 5, it got it banned to Ubers. You have Chen Pao. You have Cryogonal, which is more offensive based, but like it's too weak to use it. You have Darmanitan, you have Iron Bundles, you have Mamoswine, you have uh what's the name? Alolan Ninetales, you have Weavile, you have Arctozolt. They all been really good Pokemon. But the thing is like it's overshadowed by all these really bulky ice types for no reason whatsoever, and I don't understand why Game Freak love to make these guys. Like, who wants to use Articuno? It's an ice flying type. Like, that's a horrible typing for a defensive Pokemon. You don't want a defensive ice type. It's a glass cannon type. It's supposed to do massive damage. You don't want to defend with this garbage defensive typing. It's really good offensively. Why do you think you always see a water type with Ice Beam or any like fighting type with a Ice Punch whenever they can have coverage? Because Ice is just a good coverage move. Like it's just good offensively. It's not meant to be defensive, which is why all these Pokemon are so bad. Like who wants to use Beartic? Sure, Beartic is strong, but like it's so slow and the bulk is decent, but like you're an ice type. You're weak to fighting fire, rock, ice, and with no resistance but ice. Like, obviously, I don't want to use defensive ice type. I want to use offensive. Mamoswine? Yes, sir. Mamoswine is so good. Excalibur, Weavile, they have all been so good. And that's just a bad part about ice types is because we just have too many bulky ones. Like, even like ones that are offensive, like let's say Jinx, sure, they're bad now, but like within the first few generations, they just got power crept. Like, let's look at Jinx, right? Jinx in RBY. Oh, OU, it's pretty good. It's really good. Again in Gold and Silver. In Ruby Sapphire is pretty decent. Oh, I got NU in Diamond Pearl. Oh, why is that? Let's look at ice types. Mamoswine and Weavile got released. Why would you want to use that over these two monsters? They're so good. I just honestly, I feel like everyone has been treating the ice types way too harsh. by labeling it as bad because, oh, we have Pokemon that's not supposed to do what their type role is. And honestly, that's just what I feel about the ice types. I have to defend them because I actually don't think the ice type is that bad anymore. And yeah, that's just my little rant about the ice types. I had to defend them because even I've been like unfairly uh ranking them compared to the other types by giving them like one of the worst types. But bad. But yeah, let me know.